In this episode, Val and Bob fly north in search of science. The Keriner 2 has a very close encounter with Eve, and oversights and malfunctions complicate my Kerbals getting their snacks. All of this and more is coming up right now. Alright, so here we are with the Keriner 1 still chugging along after its Eve encounter, and we are now 53.5 days from its burn it's going to be doing down here. And again, the purpose of this burn is to create this orange phasing orbit, ignore the green one, the orange phasing orbit which adjusts its period so that as it comes around again it will encounter Moho. So really there's not much else going on, so why don't we time warp to that. Now while we're time warping, I am going to keep an eye on my only Kerbals in space, which are on Kerbin Station, because I do want to make sure nothing untowards happens to them. Ooh, signal strength is decreasing, now down to 45% as we drift away from Kerbin. Might be an issue at some point, but it ain't an issue right now. And you can see what I've got set up here is actually I'm going to be smacking into Moho, which I don't know, might end up being the plan. It'd be entertaining anyway. But that isn't the plan. I'm just about ready to start the burn. I'm doing this one manually. There's something goofed up. One and go. I'm doing this one manually. There's something goofed up with KOS. I got into trying to create a boot folder and all that kind of stuff with this probe, and I'm sure there's something I can that would automatically load the programs, but somehow I ended up messing it up entirely. I gotta learn some more about KOS, but rather than learning it for just this one probe, I'm just doing this manually. Not a big deal. Okay, we want to smack into Moho. Whoa, I can see I overdid that. Okay, so we are going to just adjust the thrust way down. Get rid of you. Turn you around prograde. Get that back. Kind of missed the whole encounter, didn't I? Okay, there it is. So, bring that in. There it comes. Alright. That's good enough. So, what do I got? A total of 1,891 meters per second left. That's not enough to get a capture. That's why I kind of did this. But what I'm really looking at, well, let's get out and take a look at our trajectories, is seeing if I can create hopefully another burn. So we're now going into this blue orbit, and we'll be encountering Moho in 132 days. But what I really want, see how this purple orbit is less than the blue orbit? That's what I kind of want to do. I want to keep bringing this purple orbit down. This is the orbit that, if I survived my impact, you know, if Moho was a point rather than a sphere, and I somehow could pass through it, this would be the orbit I would end up with. But what I would like to do is keep bringing this orbit down. Now, what makes it not easy, if I come back to Moho, is that I'm coming in at this stupid angle. I'll figure something out. And we'll get back to this later in this episode, but right now, why don't we get ourselves closer to home? Alright, and we are heading north. And we are once again in the Panther Mk1. You saw this last episode. It was collecting science above the mountains and above the highlands, and in this episode what we are going to do is take it over the tundra, the northern ice shelf, and the ice caps. And I was a little surprised at how spotty my science collection has been in those biomes. I thought I did them a long time ago, but it turns out that I did not. Now, one thing I find interesting is I have here the press map barometer. You might, oh my god, there's a whole piece of science. Why on earth is that thing still around? Well, it turns out I still got a teeny weeny bit to collect in the upper atmosphere, so I have it kind of queued up and waiting. Once we're over 18 kilometers, which an altitude, which this thing is capable of doing, we should be able to collect ourselves some science. And let's take a look at our crew. Our crew, wow, very familiar. Part of our original quadruple is Valentina and our scientist Bob. 20 kilometers. See how high can this thing go? 21 kilometers on the apoapsis. 22. I think we're getting close to it. Can we make 23? 23. I don't want to burn through too much fuel here. 24. Can we do 25? I'll cut it at 25. We can do 25. Come on, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. 25, and then just a little bit more to sort of ensure that we actually do get the point. Okay, that should be it. The afterburners, and you can see here, oh, we are collecting science. It's going to take 1 minute and 40 seconds to collect the what's remaining here of this little tiny bit. So hopefully we'll be doing that. Be up into above 18 kilometers for longer than that. Let's start time warping here. If not, we might have to. I don't know what we're going to do. Actually, I shouldn't keep this. Got it locked to prograde, but that's just going to encourage kind of a parabolic flight here. I do want to see if we can maybe glide. Well, there's not much to glide on up here, is there? I was saying here I got 7.3. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. We're actually after decimal points here, aren't we? Oh, wait, it's saying waiting. Maybe we are done then. Okay, let's put this back on here. Yeah, it's saying waiting, so let's check the science CO on the atmospheric. Pressure scan, Kerbin, flying high. 7.3. Why does that say 0.9? And it says there's nothing like that. I don't like that 0.9. Whatever. Okay, let's head up north. We are closing in here on the tundra, or at least a patch of tundra. But I got to get myself again below an altitude of 6 kilometers for the wing experiment. There's no science to collect on the surface of the tundra. Somehow I've done that all. But there is surface stuff to collect above the ice caps. I did check that out. Oh, we are now flying over the tundra. We are collecting the wing experiment, and that is it. So somehow I did a good job. And no crew report, right? No, crew report's done too. So the tundra, for some reason, I did a good job with collecting science, but the other biomes up around here I did not. So the wing experiment takes again about 10 minutes, so we're gonna just do our usual fly about in circles here. And I know for a lot of people, perhaps even most people, going through all this effort for 6.9 science really doesn't seem a sane thing to do, let's put it that way. But, you know, that's the completionist in me, and the marvels of editing, you don't have to spend as much time as I'm doing with this. Alright, so that is that. So now we want to head, whoa, let's turn off, north and westward, northwest. I think it's starting to come back to me. It was a long time ago, but I think I do remember being out here with a much, much older plane and getting my... It's before I really started working out electricity issues when it came to Kerbalism and how electrically demanding that mod actually does make collecting of the science. Not that I haven't run into problems since then, but I think I recall getting really frustrated and just saying the heck with it. As for this flight, eventually I ended up collecting the science over the ice cap here, and then I put it down onto the surface, where I had a Geiger counter and a press map barometer collection to do. And as well, Bob could do an EVA report, though inexplicably I did have a surface sample from here for some reason. I don't have an explanation for that. And then it was off to the nearby northern ice shelf, where I started running into hard drive space once again. Yeah, it's those wing experiments. I put enough aboard to hold 2 wing experiments. Those things are a huge amount of data. I flew around for a while I was transmitting it away in order to clear up the hard drive space. But by then, I was getting precious low on fuel, and with only a couple of decimal points left of science to collect, I finally just, the heck with it. I put it down onto the surface. Bob again got out, got his EVA report, despite the sort of bizarre kind of earthquake that seemed to be happening here. But I figured that was good enough. Recover the normal way. Called it a day. Let's get back out to another Keriner. 12.2 science. Oh, from the surface deployed mystery goo observations. Oh, nice. That was alright. So it's working. Got some science from that deployable mystery goo. That's just sitting, I know, what's 12.2 science? Sitting on, I believe that one was Kerbin's grasslands where that came from, but that's okay. Okay, well, this is the Keriner 2B, and it is on approach to Minmus. There's Minmus right there. We're just about to cross into Minmus's sphere of influence. And if you, just to remind people what's going on, we're going to blast by Minmus, where we're going to do a burn of about 1,200 meters per second, which is going to put us on a trajectory out towards Jool, which we're going to get to, well, it's going to be sometime in the future, isn't it? If this thing survives that long, that is. So let's get ourselves going towards the sphere. There we go. We just had our sphere of influence change. We are not collecting any data. I don't even think, I turned everything off. And there's no data to collect here because the Keriner 1 did a pretty good job with this type of data. So there's really no science to collect. I'm keeping it off because when I get out towards Jool, these solar panels aren't going to be doing very much, and most of the electricity generation is going to be handled by fuel cells here, and of course I have limited fuel for the fuel cell aboard, so I really want to manually control my electricity consumption once I get out that way. I don't want things turning on automatically when I don't think that they are. Here comes Eve once again. You know, as we're getting close to this, I'm not exactly sure what the point of all this is, because we're not collecting any science. I'm not even convinced, I'll just delete this, that I saved myself much in the way of fuel doing it this way, because although this is a pretty cheap burn to get to Jool, the burn I took to get to Eve was actually reasonably expensive, because in order to get the timing all right, I did it at not an ideal time. So, I don't know, I'd have to add things up to see if this is actually, it probably might have been easier just to fly out, straight out to Jool, but, well, you know, it's not just all about efficiency. Sometimes you just gotta have fun. Okay, slow ourselves down here, and this engine is the one that has been upgraded to high quality. It has 18 minutes and 19 seconds worth of burn time left and 33 ignitions. By the way, this isn't by any stretch of the imagination a guarantee as to exactly when this engine will fail. It's just the closer you get to these going to zero, the more likely it is that it's going to fail. Perhaps you might get more time than this. It's very possible you might get significantly less. You never know. It's all in the roll of the dice. But, well, it's started up right now, so that's good. And if we can successfully do this one burn, at the very least, we'll get ourselves to Jool. Whether stuff will be working by the time we get there, who knows. But at the very least, it will at least fly by Jool. Okay, we are closing in here. I'm watching this from the Jool system. Here comes our trajectory. Yeah, that ain't bad. Did pretty good. I'm reasonably okay with that. Okay, program has ended. Get rid of this. And we will do, at some point, a correction burn. Now's not the time to do this. I do want to get this so that we're in the plane of most of the moons that are in and around Jool. And just see what happens. We still have 1169 meters per second left. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with that. I wasn't thinking that far ahead. If I just got it going towards Jool, I was going to be more than happy. Everything else is going to be gravy. But I'd love to be able to get at least some encounters with some of these moons. But clearly, like, this is in 2 years and 1 day. So we're going to have to wait to see how this one turns out. And now it is the Keriner 2's turn. And although I know this looks like pretty much the same vessel, it's very different in that I forgot to upgrade the engine, so it only has, where is it here? It only has 44 seconds of burn time left. Well, let's get us into, again, Eve's SOI. And here's where I have to make a decision on what on earth am I going to do with this thing. So, with 44 seconds of burn time, now the engine's still working. It's possible it might burn more than that. It might burn out the very next time I try and do anything with it. But what I am thinking about is seeing if I do have a contract. Let me see if I can get this out here. Still left over from this Eve flyby, which is to get some science flying high in the atmosphere. The issue with this thing is I cannot retract these solar panels, but it does have fuel cells, so the fuel cells will run for a while. Of course, it completely might blow up. I think it might be worthwhile to give that a go, to see if we can dip in the atmosphere, and who knows, maybe something miraculous might happen. Maybe we'll get an aero capture or something like that. It's very low throttle. Did the burn, so that's good. Our periapsis is at 70, just under 71 kilometers. We'll live with that. Oh, this could go so badly. Let's see what happens. Who the heck knows? And then we're going to put on retrograde. We're going to fire up those fuel cells and we're going to see what happens. You know, I could have quick saved and tried different altitudes and sort of, you know, experimented to see what would happen, but I thought this would be more fun. As you can see, we are going at about 4.7 kilometers per second. So we're going to be hitting the atmosphere pretty hard. Yes, we are. Okay. And let's see here. We'll get us on auto. Just as we go into the atmosphere, I'm going to turn on both of these two fuel cells, because I don't think those solar panels are going to last long. Let's do that right now. So there we go. Fuel cells are on. Keep this undated. We'll see what we get. And as we get close to periapsis, I might actually even try firing that engine and seeing what happens. Okay, we are collecting data. And we are getting hot. And we are overheating. And that was a solar panel. That's okay. Let's fire that engine. Oh shoot, it's on really low thrust, isn't it? Come here, come here, come here. No! Okay, so much for that engine. It blew up. Blew up. And things are exploding. And this was too ambitious. Oh dear. I don't think we got any science data off. I don't know what happened here. We collected. I don't know what happened there. I think we got into the situation high. I just don't think we got any science off, did we? Let's take a look here. Okay, so that was entirely too ambitious. We blew stuff up. Let's look at the science archive. So Eve and is there a flying high? That's well, not a lot, but look at that. We got off almost 2 science from the telemetry report. 1.3. over ease. Oh, we switched biomes even. 2.6 from it to the telemetry report did well. That was probably the thing that was up on the trans. 2.5. That's something I gotta admit, that's more than I would have expected. Not enough to trigger the contract. I think you actually have to do a whole science experiment in order to do the contract. Well, we got the landers coming up. So, you know, we'll probably be seeing those next episode. And that'll take care of that part of the contract. Let's move onwards. And launch of the ever-familiar Mk1B. Going to, well, the all-too-familiar Kerbin station, though with a little bit of a different contract. This is a tourist contract. We have two tourists, Dilorf and Mk1, who are clones of each other here, you can see, and don't seem to be enjoying themselves too much. And they would like to spend some time up on Kerbin Station. Looks like they got to spend a time of 4 hours up there. And bringing them up there is Colonel Valley, who also doesn't seem to be too impressed with this ride. I don't know why. This is an entirely dependable vehicle. Whoa, stage. Okay, what happened? Is that engine going? The engine's going, right? Not sure what happened there. Okay, we're on. We're going. Wow. 1202 alarm. Which I kind of put in there in a joke in a section of the code that I thought I'd never ever get to. That I think the smart part failed for some reason. I think that's what's happened. The program's still going. Yeah, it's deploying fairings and stuff, but it didn't stage. Okay. And yeah, we've reached our target apoapsis, so I think we're okay. It's all good. Not sure what happened there. Got to the main booster. Should have staged. It's like the smart part failed. Okay. Not a problem. What was I saying about the bed? You do this so many times, and that's going to be the time when you start to have an issue, but I think we're all good. Tourists got to hear a few wailing alarms, that's all. That adds to the experience. That's what Valley's done. No, that's all part of the ride. Okay, burn complete. Orbit achieved. Good. Whoa. Orbit and a little bit extra. I think that's because I was hitting the throttle button when we had that alarm. Okay, we're good. There was definitely some jinxing happened with my comment right after the launch. I swear I didn't construct that. I swear that just happened, that I made that comment about how reliable it is, and then yeah, just a little bit of time later, boom. But anyway, we are just about here. Boop. Beautiful. Okay. We're at the end. I lost track of where we actually were. Okay, so we have docked with Kerbin Station. I think let's just toggle this torque here. Turn the reaction wheels off. Yeah, we're on Kerbin Station. We got our 2 passengers. Timer's going down. We got to be here for 4 hours. Really, there's not much else to do in the meantime between now and then. I did decide to rotate pilot, so you can see now that Colonel Valley is out, the Mk1B, and Colonel Lagerford came from the station and got in here. But I mean, come on, you've seen this vessel so many times. Standard descent. And then it was time to go back to being interplanetary. Well, then again, maybe not. Yeah, when I was up at Kerbin Station, I noticed when I took a look at the food, I'm selecting Kerbin Station here right now. Right now they only have 24 days of food left. So I thought it would be best for me to send some up there. So this is another supply barge. I think this is the third time you've seen this supply barge. It's made runs up to Kerbin Station before. Nothing new, but it's going to bring them up, well, some more food, as well as a handful of other things, but mostly for food. And, as has become a happy tradition over the last few episodes, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome aboard my newest patron, Ardonis. Thank you very much, Ardonis, for your support, and thank you to all of my patrons, because that support really does help motivate me to continue to produce these videos. And also thank you to those that subscribe and like and comment. All of those things really does help feed that YouTube algorithm and get these videos seen by more and more people. But as you can see, we're closing in here. There we are. We are docked. Alright, let's see what their food situation is now. Yeah, I should have brought up more food. I mean, they got 72 days of food now, but that's not going to be enough. Not with all the time warping I'm going to have to be doing to get to these interplanetary missions. Oh, maybe I should be redesigning this thing. This is an old barge. Maybe it's just not good enough for this expanded station. No, I think a new barge is probably in order. But let's get to the Keriner 1 here first. We're back here with the Keriner 1. But as you can see here, its signal strength is down to just 8%. Where are we in relation to Kerr? We're just making the tiniest of correction burns, so, you know, we won't hit Moho. We'll blow by it the way I want to. But what do we have? Like, I just gotta look here. Are we as far from Kerbin as we're as far from Kerbin as we're likely ever gonna get? So, ooh, you know what's also happening here is I can see the sun's about to block our signal, too. And let's see, we're encountering Moho back here. No, so our signal's going to get stronger by the time this will be fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Well, let's just do this burn. It's a tiniest, a 0.1 meter per second burn. So I'm just going to do this completely manually. Needless to say, I have the thrust like way down. I think I'm perfectly fine with that. Blasting by. We're going to be there. When are we going to be there? In 88 days. Oh, that's going to be just... We'll be there in a smidge. We're going to time warp. I want to get to the eaves here. So that's going to be before that. Alright, so that's cool. But before we can get back to this, I do have to deal with Kerbin Station. Yeah, once I got into adding more food, I thought, you know, while I'm at it, why don't we design this whole thing? So this is my LKO Supply 2. This is a completely redesigned supply vessel, completely redesigned booster. I'm sorry, fans of that old Hammer Series boosters. I was enjoying them, but you know what? It is time to get onto something that's using a little bit more technology. Well, I mean, not too much, really. I mean, we're not going very far. A couple of hammers as radio boosters. We have here a swivel on the main core, so not exactly complicated, but is taking advantage of reaction wheels and all of that kind of thing. Of course, what it's really supporting is a ton more food. But other resources as well. Alright, the line looks good. We'll line up our docking ports. Put on RCS, and then we'll steer this fella home. The thrusters aren't working. Isn't there no monopropellant aboard this thing? Oh my god. Alright, in my redesign, although I do have RCS thrusters, I have no monopropellant boards. So RCS is not going to do a lot. Oh my lord. Oh, that was smooth. Okay, what's on the station? Oh wait, there's just nothing on the station that's going to help. Come on. So what we're going to have to do is try and do this without RCS. What joy. Let's get a little closer. Actually, really. Should be going slower too. Ah, that's good. Where's... Put this on... Here's where I don't stay yet. Okay. So here's... Yeah. So I can see here I'm a little offline. You would want... This on here. Okay, let's go back down here. Yeah, I'm a little off. So I want to pull that this way. Okay, let's work though. I don't want to speed myself up. That is not. I got to do this slow like. So what if... I wish there was a retrograde docking alignment icon, but we'll see if we can do this with this. Okay, let's see what that's like. Coming back to here, looking at the prograde side. What you want to see is prograde, docking port icon, and that. Oh, no. Okay, let's just pull this way. Let's get this lined up just a bit better. Okay. How's that looking? Okay, we gotta get ready. Whether we're perfect or not, we gotta get ready here. We're coming in. Oh my golly, oh my golly. Okay, here. So I think my line here is okay. We'll aim the camera here. We just gotta sort of slow ourselves down as we get to the appropriate position and then kind of head in. Slow down a bit. Ah, oh, nuts. Oh, great. The engine failed. Of course it did. Oh, golly. Okay. We can just... How am I going to do this? And this is... It's red. I cannot fix this. I'm not sure. Yeah, we cannot fix that engine. This thing has no propulsion, has no ability to hold. I got an idea. We can save this. Okay, first, we need to arrest this thing. We're going to go back to the station. We can do this. We're going to get Colonel Valley. Where is Valley? That's a very good question. Orland's in there. There's Valley. So we're going to transfer Colonel Valley over to the Palm 1B. And his job is simply just to grab this thing and keep it nearby. Let's get down there, Colonel. Let's just get ourselves... We're moving away from it right now. There we go. That's got us more or less going in the right direction. Well, why am I fiddling with rotation? It really doesn't matter. Let's just get it, alright? Okay. Okay. There. Okay. Aim the camera this way. So my plan here is, first of all, just to arrest this thing and keep it... Arrest its relative velocity and just keep it nearby. But then, job 2, we're going to get Madby out. She's going to hopefully be able to grab a small monopropellant tank and attach it on here somewhere. That will give this thing some monopropellant, and then it'll have propulsion again. Imagine that. Grab it. Oh, come on. You want it. You want it. Stop. There we go. Okay. So we got that. That engine's busted, so let's activate this engine. And where is the station? Okay, let's just actually back up. We'll just use our CS. I don't think we need this engine. Let's shut it down again. Oh wow, what an oversight. Okay, we will target What we gotta do is keep this close by. Just give us a target so we can get out. There we go. All I want to do is keep it close by. Okay. Let's not crash into the station. Okay, Colonel. Colonel, we're not going to crash into the station. I'm just kind of more using my eyeballs than anything. Which way are we? Okay, that's good enough. We're close enough. Okay, let's get Madby out. Now, is Madby still in the airlock? And Madby needs to get a wrench. And we should be able to find some small monopropellant containers. Thank goodness for KAS, because I think I probably would be doomed with this mission without it. I see one of those really small monopropellant containers, right? Oh no, that's a reaction wheel. Okay, where's the monopropellant stored on this thing? Oh, here's some. I think these are too big. They might be too big. Okay, that might be my only monopropellant storage on the station. Let's actually just grab this. Let's get back to the station. Monopropellant. So, oh, there's monopropellant in that vehicle, of course. These are the little ones. Thankfully, I still got this little tug attached here. Okay, can she grab it? Grab and detach. Yes! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Okay. Doesn't much matter where she sticks this, right? I don't think so. H. I think that's gonna work. I think that's gonna work. Okay. We'll get Madby back inside. And then back to Orlin here. We're pretty close to the station, so Orlin, we're just gonna get you to undock. You did a good job there, but I think we don't need this anymore. And hopefully this thing now does have monopropellant aboard. It does, not a lot, but it should be enough. Okay, Orlin, we're going to get you back. Okay, Orlin's heading in the general right direction. I'm a little concerned about this. I should deal with this guy right now, because Orlin's got plenty of monopropellant, but this thing doesn't. And if it drifts too far away, we're going to be in trouble. So, SAS on. That's still working. There we go. We got monopropellant. Okay, we are moving generally. Oh, we're going pretty fast. Let's stop this thing first. Of course, I never designed this engine for any of that fine maneuvering, so it still has like the standard reliability on it. So once I got into all those little puffs it ran, I'm sure it just ran out of ignitions. And you can sort of, as you're doing this, stop watching here and just start watching the nav ball, and I'm steering that towards the red icon. There we go. Okay. Now that I got all three, it's easy peasy. There we go. Done. Okay, back to the kernel. Now we just got to put this back. Yoich! That turned out to be fun. And docked. Alright, that is that. Way more of an adventure than I had originally anticipated there. But I want to take a look at food. Food is now up to 265 days of food, 315 days of oxygen, all the water they could ever want. And of course that's going to be good because we got some time warping to do. We got the Keriner 1 running into, hopefully not running into, but going by Moho in 87 days. And we got the EVE 1 and the EVE landers 93 days from now. They're going to be getting to EVE, and that is going to be the conclusion, and all of that is going to happen next episode. Yes, next episode. That is going to be our season finale. I hope to see you then.